I was hearing all the, you know, conversations, and I felt really so elated that when we started this in the early 2009 or 10, in the wake of the global financial crisis, we never thought that we will come this far. And this particular conversation, as you have organized, is also important for the timing. This is a time when the whole world is going through two serious existential threats, the COVID-19 and the climate change. So they are reinforcing each other, and also they look so similar for many reasons, particularly for their, the scale of their devastation and impact, the intensity of that impact, inequities of that impact. They're really hitting the most vulnerable groups, but including women and the elderly populations. And the entire system of vulnerabilities has been challenged by this. And of course, the uncertainty, the huge uncertainty that is we are witnessing in the name of COVID-19. People really don't know what is right and what is wrong. And this is a very dangerous situation. If we don't know what is right and what is wrong, then it is very difficult to really make a policy initiative for the greater public good. Fortunately, we have a rudder, the global compass, moral compass, called 2015 Paris Agreement. And this was a moral compass. There we agreed that current generation will use the resources in a manner that our future generations will also have their share. We will not spoil that resources for ourselves only. And this is called the efficiency of the resource use. And of course, the global the consensus that we reached in 2015 got derailed because of the political transition in US, but we are coming back. And I want to really thank the UK government, particularly for organizing the COP26, which is coming for in November. And I already had a meeting with His Excellent Honorable Alok Sharma, and we had a lot of discussions on how to proceed. And I also participated in the CPA parliamentary program in London, the Commonwealth Parliamentary, and there we found the urgency of this global climate change and the global pandemic. We need to tackle them together, and there we need a greater ecosystem. Before we go into the particularly into the electric vehicle issue, I'm talking about the ecosystem, the perspective, which is so challenging. But fortunately, I would say there is a political will. It's not true that we don't have political will to really address this issue. Both UK government and the Bangladesh government, they are taking initiatives to really make this issue global and also making recovery greener. I think we got to really relate this green finance or the green growth that you are talking about. We got to link it with the green recovery. I thought the green recovery, because as of today, the OECD countries have only spent about 21% of the stimulus for the green growth. So I think our country is also not so good. So we got to really, jack this up, and we need to spend more on the green recovery. And one of the issues probably could be this, as Millat was telling, that particularly in the context of the small and medium enterprises, this could be a very good green initiative indeed. Our Prime Minister, if you remember, wrote on the 28th September 2020 in the Financial Times of London that climate change, pandemics, and the destruction of nature are common threats. They should unite us in working towards a common solution, a cleaner, greener, and safer world. I think this summarizes the entire gamut of the ecology that Masroor you are talking about. So if that is true, then we need to really work at both central bank and also at the finance ministerial level. So it's not that finance, the central bank alone can make a green transition that we are talking about. Of course, central bank has a great, lot of innovative role, as Murshid was talking, and I had the privilege of, witnessing some of the innovations in the monetary policies and the policies, regulations, norms to shape a greener and more inclusive financial system in the post global financial crisis period. I thought Bangladesh is a pioneer in terms of really ingraining a socially responsible institutional ethos in the financial sector, particularly green banking, and also touching the ground. The West, sometimes they get overwhelmed and they throw the money in the air by helicoptering. But in Bangladesh, or countries like ours, we have been taking money with our bullock carts and to the agricultural farms, to the SMEs, so that the real economy gets affected and get benefit. And we are really, in that connection, we are moving from resilience to prosperity. And I thought Bangladesh in COP26, our Prime Minister will be forwarding the essence of the Mujib Prosperity Plan. And there she will be, I'm sure, mentioning that how we are making a transition from the risk to resilience and from resilience to prosperity. I think, and here the prosperity really includes the green growth that you are talking about. Bangladesh is lucky because we started very early. Nowadays, many other people are talking about the role of the central bank as a developmental central bank, but we in Bangladesh, we started it long back. Recently, the Barry Eichengreen has written a piece in the Project Syndicate, New Model Central Bank, and there he says monetary policy has implications for issues beyond inflation and payments, including climate change and inequality. The best way forward for central bankers is to use monetary policy to target inflation while directing their regulatory powers at other pressing concerns. And certainly the two pressing concerns at the moment are COVID-19 and climate change. And that's how, we got to, I must thank the central bank, Bangladesh Central Bank, and almost all the central banks of the world for coming forward with the very lavish injection of liquidity into the market. Otherwise, this world would have really gone into a recession unimaginable, actually. But our central bank really was fast enough and moved a lot of money. But now the challenge is, how to promote this money to bring desirable changes, creating new productive capacities, accelerating digitization, revitalizing rural and regional economies, conducting business and work in new ways, particularly in green ways, and making economies more sustainable. So this is a global kind of call for green growth and green recovery. And it's very fortunate, we are very fortunate, thanks to Obama's stimulus in 2009 for green energy, that is solar, including tax breaks, subsidies, government loans, and loan guarantees, in addition to massive subsidies by European governments for offshore wind projects early in the last decade, there has been a cost miracle that might not have happened otherwise. And this cost miracle may be the key to saving us from utter climate catastrophe. So if that is the perspective, remember in 2009, 1 megawatt hour of solar energy used to cost $178. And 2019, it is only $43. So the cost is coming down. So I thought this is an area that is a huge potential. And I really want to thank Millat that they are normally when a leader leaps, the project also leaps. But fortunately, all my projects have been well maintained by the central bank. I want to thank the governor for continuing all the measures and Millat for doing this green banking. So, we are talking because we are here with the talking with the financial institutions groups. So our objective here are to really how to enhance the market practice. I think we really want to talk to the financial institutions. Those who are here, they have given some indications. So we really want to talk about how to enhance market practice, how to leverage private capital with the public finance. So, green cannot be done by the private alone. So we need to blend it. It has to be a blended approach, and the public finance with a lot of subsidy as Obama has given. So we need to bring that into the green energy or green growth, and directing finance through policies. We need to direct this through policies as we have done in Bangladesh Bank. Not only we have done this 4 billion taka of the small projects on green growth, green products, but we also have done a $400 million green transformation fund, another 200 to 300 euros of green transformation fund, which our corporates, particularly RMGs and leather sector, are benefiting. I think there is a huge opportunities if we could link that fund, with the corporates here. So, for example, if Walton could take a few 100 million from that kitty of the central bank, but which is very low cost, LIBOR plus 2 or 2.5. That's so low cost and given in foreign exchange. So that we created, that fund. So if we could really bring in those kind of fund for the manufacturing of the green vehicles you are talking about, I thought this will encourage a cultural transformation in the minds of the entrepreneurs to go green, and the financial institutions will also, will be in a position to work together. I think the major message is that we must work together. We must collaborate. This is the message of the entire discussion that we have been having here. The collaboration is the most important thing that we have been doing. And again, I'm so happy that the project is also talking about gender inequality and also, rural SMEs. And I thought this is a very good initiative. I'm no doubt the importance and benefits of the electric vehicles for this kind of small sector will be overwhelming. While this transition has to be necessarily private sector led, as you said, we must also note that significant changes such as this one require significant political will, which I said is still there. Our Prime Minister is very green. Policy attention, incentive structure, and customer sensitization. This is another area, the customer sensitization. Maybe there are many good programs. There are many good. I think the Ricardo and others will be well advised to do more technical assistance, to do more of the customer sensitization programs, so that we can link them. I was very impressed by Ghazi, this Dan FinTech, the way he was talking about, using machine learning and data analysis for creating, scoring the SMEs and giving money in 24 hours. I think all SMEs can be done if we use the data. Say, for example, in Kenya, the M-Pesa, they used to collect money from the borrowers and save it for them to provide a solar panel for them. So one can do similarly. The SMEs can really have an bank account with the Bikash or Rocket or anyone else, or the agent banking, and all the data they generate, because they are very good at that, because of the Alibaba is involved in it. So use that data and give a analysis which can store your fund, and then you can give the fund quickly. The banks and the fintech can really work here, and I'm so impressed that Masroor has brought in Dan. I believe we have the political will, and I am also very much hopeful that this will receive desired political policy attention. But again, we must also think about an incentive structure in place. Say, for example, we have already started this net metering, but net metering has not been providing us that much good results because we could not integrate incentives into it. If you sell it, you get the same money. If you buy it, you sell the same money, but that will not help. You got to add on an incentive. Say if I buy from the national grid any electricity, I will pay you 20% lower. But if I say selling, you will get 20% more incentives. I think the net metering has to be done. And again, net metering has been only single service system, 3 service systems. So it is not done in a single service system. So we need to really work on that. And the central bank role is pivotal, as I said, and our experience shows that financial innovations prudently done by the central bank can be really a big boost to the green transformation. Bangladesh Bank, with support from the government and the international partners like the one we have, UK8 and others, we have really modernized the central bank. We have created so many digital infrastructures in the central bank with the support of the World Bank, UK8 and others. And again, I think this collaboration should continue, and one can really go for the SMEs electric vehicles, on a pilot basis. Say, for example, 60% of the rural income are now actually non-formal or non-farm income. So there is a huge demand for this kind of vehicles. Say, for example, the covered van, even the small trucks, they need priority support for this kind of green vehicles. So central bank can also play a role for customer sensitization, which I have already talked about. It has the ability, in banking system, I'm sure my colleagues from the banks will will bear with me. It is trust, nothing else. Banks runs on trust. So we should do nothing which erodes trust. And for that matter, we need to generate confidence among the general customer base through its people-friendly, inclusive finance policies that we have been following in Bangladesh over the last decade or so, and we must further improve it. Bangladesh Bank should capitalize on the social capital to sensitize the customer base about the benefits of electric vehicles. They could do the same to encourage investors, that means local and foreign alike, to invest in EV businesses, particularly in manufacturing. Bangladesh is also thinking about manufacturing automobiles. As you must have seen this budget, they have gone for a tax holidays for about 10-20 years for manufacturing automobiles. I thought, why not give a priority to the electric vehicles? If you really go into manufacturing of EVs, and give all the fiscal support, go for the EVs. We also need to think about using renewable energy-based solutions that I have already talked about. It's no use if we can't use the green energy for green vehicles. So I thought that should be, of course, overnight we cannot do that. We cannot jump. We cannot be an adventurist. We have to adjust to the reality, and we will really go. But as I told you, if we can improve the net metering framework, our rooftop solutions will be good enough to really give electricity to most of the vehicles. Say, for example, we have 30 flats in our in a complex. So if we can have enough electricity in our roofs, you can use it for our cars in the complex. So similarly, we can be very, very innovative and make the transition. I also believe the pilots could be started in smaller cities. Dhaka is not the best place to start with any kind of pilot. Dhaka or Chittagong. I would rather go for testing in a smaller city where there is a bit more space to maneuver. The viability studies, the networking of actors and sensitization of the stakeholders will definitely require a very proactive role of the civil society, the stakeholders that we are already in, and of course, the role of the central bank. The central bank has to become a developmental central bank. We have started the process. We should continue to become more greener, and also inclusive, gender sensitive, and of course, more caring for the stability of the system. I think I want to really congratulate Ricardo and others who have really joined this journey. I wish you best of luck. And if I can be of any help, please don't hesitate to ask for that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.